This is the WJTS News. In the news tonight, Indiana State Trooper resigns plus new developments. Major drug bust, cyber attack in Lawrence County. Kirkuksa will be in with sports, and our WJTS Informed segment continues with State Senator Mark Messmer. All to come on WJTS TV News. Good evening, I'm Jenna Schaffer with the news. New tonight, an Indiana State Trooper has resigned after facing more legal troubles. On Tuesday, 44-year-old Jeremy Galloway was arrested for arson and insurance fraud. Now he faces additional animal cruelty charges. Reports say 2 dogs were killed in the fires. Shortly after the fire, a GoFundMe page was also set up for Galloway. We're told those who donated have been refunded. A major drug bust leaves 17 people facing drug trafficking charges. United States Attorney Josh J. Minkler says those arrested include the leader of the Evansville Grim Reapers Motorcycle Club and several high-level dealers. Minkler says officials were able to make the arrests after months of investigation by multiple federal and law enforcement agencies. The investigation took more than 10 pounds of methamphetamine, 23 firearms, and large amounts of money off the street. A developing story out of Lawrence County where a cyber attack is wreaking havoc on their computer systems. IT, emergency management, the clerk, auditor, and sheriff met for an emergency meeting this week. IT has not yet determined the source of the attack. Critical systems in all county offices have been impacted, leaving their phone lines down. However, 911 and Administration Sheriff's Office phone lines have not been affected. It's unclear when services will be restored. County authorities are coordinating with the Indiana Intelligence Fusion Center, Indiana State Police IDACS Section, Indiana Department of Homeland Security, and the Secretary of State's office to figure out their next step. After escaping from custody, a Lagodi woman is facing felony charges. Warren was wanted in Martin County on an active failure to appear warrant for methamphetamine-related charges. Martin County Sheriff deputies tried locating 36-year-old Roberta Warren at her Lagodi residence last Wednesday. Once in custody, deputies say Warren freed herself and ran. Warren was placed back into custody following a physical altercation. As spring nears, we start to notice the green growth along fence rows, forest edges, trails, and fields. That greenery you see is most likely an invasive plant species getting a jump on native plant growth. Emily Finch is the local SWCD invasive species specialist and was the featured speaker at the Du Bois County Soil and Water Conservation District annual meeting earlier this week. Emily Finch describes what an invasive species is.
A non-native species that basically causes harm, environmental harm, economic harm, harm to human health. And when it comes to invasives, I like to add my own personal difference between that and what you think of as agricultural weeds. And that invasives will cause problems in agricultural areas, disturbed areas, but also natural areas, undisturbed areas. They're problematic in both. And the reason why non-native is an important distinction is because our native species out in natural areas, even ones we don't like poison ivy, from an ecological standpoint, they play a role. Birds eat poison ivy berries, and so they're in balance with nature. They don't overwhelm everything else. Whereas an invasive species, it's brought here from someplace like Europe or Asia, and it doesn't have its natural predators, maybe diseases that would keep its population in check, and it doesn't offer the same benefits that a native species will out in the environment.
Many invasive plants get their start as plants used in landscaping. Finch tells us of a few that you may have planted and now they are considered invasive plants.
Burning bush, for sure. Calorie pear or Bradford pear, those ornamental pear trees, those are very popular. And one that is going to be regulated soon, winter creeper vines that are used for ground cover quite a bit. All of those are invasive.
When speaking of invasives, they are not limited to plants. Invasive species are also insects, animals, and aquatic creatures, according to Emily Finch.
We also have invasive animal species, like think of emerald ash borer as one of the invasives that's been causing problems in woods. There are aquatic invasives that are both plants, like Eurasian water milfoil, or animals like zebra mussel or Asian carp.
The SWCD has a limited amount of money available to landowners for invasive plant control. Landowners in DuBois, Davies, and Martin counties may apply for up to $800 in reimbursement for control costs on 1 to 10 acres. The work must be completed before November. For information about how to apply for funds or to eradicate or at least control invasive species, contact Emily Finch at the DuBois County Soil and Water Conservation District. Due to the flu outbreak, local hospitals are extending visitation restrictions. These restrictions include no visitors with influenza-like symptoms allowed in the hospitals. Now, symptoms include cough, sore throat, fever, chills, aches, runny or stuffy nose, and vomiting or diarrhea. No visitors less than 15 years old. No visitors other than immediate family or significant persons as defined by the patient. All visitors are encouraged to wash their hands frequently and wear protective masks when instructed to do so. However, these restrictions could be modified for critically ill patients, end-of-life situations, or to accommodate healthy siblings of newborn babies. To see a list of local hospitals implementing these restrictions, head to our website, WJTS.tv. A special training session has the Southwestern Indiana Child Advocacy Center Coalition in DuBois County, CASA, joining forces to help keep your kids safe. Protecting Your Children, Advice from Child Molesters, is a free training session aimed at preventing childhood sexual abuse. The training session is facilitated by local law enforcement investigators, SWICAC, and DuBois County, CASA. A free nacho bar will be provided for attendees. The session takes place from 6 to 8:30 p.m. on February 18th in the Pine Ridge Elementary School Library in Birdseye and is open to the public. To RSVP, call or text 812-639-0143. For more information, head to our website, WJTS.tv. 4 local distilleries now have a spot on Indiana Grown's newest map. The distillery trail map now includes the Spirits of French Lick out of West Baden, Monkey Hollow Winery and Distillery based out of St. Meinrad, Cardinal Spirits out of Bloomington, and the Dusty Barn Distillery based out of Mount Vernon. This map is the latest resource that Indiana Grown has to offer and highlights 21 Indiana Grown member breweries. The Indiana Grown Wine Trail was released in May of 2018, featured 31 member wineries, and was the first in its program. Since the release, the program's success caused it to expand to nearly 50 wineries. Here's your chance to become a certified storm spotter. The National Weather Service office out of Indianapolis is holding a free training class for anyone interested in storm spotting and reporting information to the authorities. This class takes place at 7 p.m. on February 19th in the Davies County Security Center training room. The class is expected to last about 2 hours. We'll take a look at your weather forecast when we come back on 18 WJTS.